Now, what are the extreme weather impacts on India? As you can see the map, you can closely notice that according to the vulnerability index, most of the India is impacted by the extreme weather events. So, India is experiencing a disaster almost every year, from heat, cold waves, cyclones, lightnings to heavy rain, floods, and landslides. So, in the year 2023, India witnessed a series of unprecedented climate phenomena, which indicated in disturbing the new normal caused by the climate change. On the onset of 2023, which was marked by a scorching heat temperature, which shattered around 123-year-old record in February. Then a cyclonic event, Arabian Sea, which witnessed formation of cyclones like Biparjoy, which lasted for around 13 days and became the longest duration cyclone since 1977. According to IMD, India is experiencing extreme weather events on about 314 days of the 365 days in 2022. So basically, the entire year we were facing the impacts of the extreme weather events, which has also led to the loss of human lives. The erratic weather condition exposes millions of Indians to the climate disaster, which results into killing of thousands every year and increase in economic hardship by eroding farmers' farm productivity. The events also claimed around 3,026 lives and about damaged around 1.96 million hectare of crop area. You can see this data, which is from Down to Earth, which shows from January till April, we saw the number of heat waves, then we saw the lightning and storms events, then the cold wave events which occurred for around, and you can see which is increasing. And you, as I mentioned, that in 2023, witnessed a cyclone which lasted for around 13 days. So IPCC assessment in 2023 also provides convincing evidence that the global warming is triggering severe climate related occurrence like non-stop rainfall. The financial implication of this extreme weather events are very high. Like India is already losing around 3 to 5% of the GDP due to the climate change, and the number could rise as much as 10% if the warming is not limited to the 2 degrees Celsius. You can see the India's weather disaster in 2022. You can see most part of our region, specifically the Madhya Pradesh region, which actually saw a lot of heat waves, so which became one of the major threats. Then the coastal areas were also facing the impacts of tropical cyclones. So the shift in monsoon pattern, as I told you, as I mentioned, that the Madhya Pradesh region was facing a lot of droughts condition. So the shifting in monsoon pattern, which is characterized by deficit in rainfall period following by intense downpour occurring over a few days. So this pattern has also strengthened over the past several decades, and the combination of warmer temperature, increased temperature in moisture, and the southwest monsoon impacting the heavy rainfall concentrated within a short span of time. And the heavy rainfall in the northern India, I don't think I need to dwell upon this. We have already seen a lot of such instances where we saw that Delhi was flooded in the year 2023, and which was extremely disturbing for most of the people, because it's very unusual for Delhi to have floods because of the rainfall. Then, according to the report by IIT Gandhinagar, the frequency of Earth's extreme weather events such as floods, heat waves, everything has increased enormously. Then, region wise analysis, if you look at the central and the northwestern region, had most days with extreme weather events with 195 and 198 respectively. Then, the central India topped the list of human deaths with around 887, followed by the east and north, which was around in combined total of 783 deaths. Then India is experiencing the seventh wettest January since 1901 in 2022, and 2022 March was the warmest of 121 years and the third driest. Then July was one of the warmest and the driest in the eastern and the northeastern India in 121 years. Then 2022, the region also experienced the second warmest August and the fourth warmest September on record. The increase in lightning and storms have also struck over 30 states and claimed around 773 lives. You can see that the global scenario, the global average temperature in 2022 was estimated to be about 1.15 degree above the actual temperature. Then in 2015 to 2022 are likely to be the eighth warmest year on record. Then 2022 was possibly the fifth or the sixth warmest year on record. Then, with respect to India, 11 out of 15 warmest years were occurred during 2008 and 2022. You can see that the states which are facing the human casualty, Bihar tops it, then comes Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, and states like Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh. Now, section C. We have discussed the impacts of climate change. Now, what we need to do. Extreme weather events in 2023. As I mentioned, there are a lot of extreme weather events that are happening consequently in 2023. For example, the flooding in Delhi, then the extreme weather events in the northern India, heat waves, cold waves are severely impacting. Now, what are the adaptation challenges? So, for India, the adaptation challenges, so the large population is experiencing adaptation challenges due to the severe heat in summer and extreme rainfall during the monsoon. Extreme heat waves are causing mortality, poses challenges to the public health infrastructure. Then, prolonged extreme rainfall results in flood, which damages the agriculture and infrastructure, and sometimes it causes climate induced migration and loss of life. And so, therefore, we need a robust climate finance. Slow onset can still be taken care through adaptation and resilience ideas, and these kind of big events are extremely difficult to cope. So, now what is the way forward to adapt against the extreme weather events? First of all, we need to have climate resilient infrastructure for the cities. For example, implementing strategies to lessen the effects of flooding is necessary when creating a flood resistant infrastructure or cities. Then, important techniques in this will include proper urban design, efficient drainage system, food water storage facilities, and flood resistant construction materials. So this will help us in mitigating the impacts of the extreme weather event. Then cities must also incorporate climate resilience into their long-term urban development plans to adapt itself to according to the climate trends. Now the Himalayas. A first safety approach. This strategy basically entails in establishing a reliable monitoring system that uses a cutting edge monitoring tools including the satellite imaging, grounds, remote sensing. And also we need to have strict land use rules in the Himalayas, and we must stop construction on the perilous slopes and locations susceptible to the floodings. Then adopting greener alternatives. So move beyond fossil fuels. We need to move beyond keeping fossil fuels on the ground and cleaning up pollution. So we need to switch to the clean energy by setting ambitious climate goals, removing barriers to clean energy and electrifying our economy. Then strengthening early warning system. There the importance of underwater domain becomes extremely critical. Is that we need to improve the forecasting techniques, smarter infrastructure design, and adopting safety first philosophy to lessen the effects of catastrophes. So, we need efficient and reliable forecasting methods that are essential to warn the communities and authorities about the upcoming extreme weather occurrences. So, the satellite images, the localized Doppler radars, weather models, data analytics are example of modern meteorological technology that can assist in predicting rainfall patterns or maybe the extreme weather events that may cause a lot of chaos in the region. Now, collaborative strategies. We need collaborative strategies not just between the government or between the planners, but between academia, institutions, engineering firms, and local communities. If we are able to address the problem caused by the extreme weather occurrence, we need to have more and more collaborative approach. Then climate justice, we need to center environmental justice and expand it access to clean energy in every community. Then local solutions, for example, we need micro action plan at the local level to identify the vulnerable areas, and then we need to develop and customize disaster management strategies. And finally, the awareness, I think that's one of the most critical one. We need campaigns for public education, evacuation strategies, and community training programs to ensure that the locals are definitely prepared for flood situation or extreme weather situation and can act very quickly to save themselves and be very effective first responder. And awareness will not only help people understand how to go about the extreme weather events, what are the strategies that they need to adopt during the course of the event or before prior to the event, but it also helps you to understand the need of having a more sustainable approach towards life, because if you don't have that, you're just teaching people how to safely work in during such events. But if you tell them that these are the problems that are going to have, then their awareness about their usage of climate, produce or anything climate infrastructure, that will become much better. And awareness is something that can actually help people to come together and come up with a better strategy, and maybe the chances of them adopting a more sustainable approach is very high. Way is through the UDA, because understanding of the underwater ecosystem becomes extremely important. We all know that the extreme weather events are occurring, mainly the tropical cyclones, the warming of oceans are mainly occurring in the underwater. So understanding the underwater domain is extremely crucial for all of us, and especially to the people who are living in the coastal areas. I've mentioned in my previous module that the small island developing states, they are huge in number. Their reliance on the marine resources is extremely high. Therefore, it's important and it's imperative that we understand the underwater ecosystem. Then only we will be able to incorporate better strategies in the future that will help us to mitigate the impacts of climate change and maybe move towards a more sustainable future. With that, I've come to the end of the presentation. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.